So the way I'm going to use the way I'm going to show you how you can be visible to the world is through M&Ms. So that's a product. That's a very basic product that everybody knows. And I want to show you how Mars, the Mars company, created the different channels for Mars so that basically they're everywhere. They're very creative. It's a it's a product with a lot of history. So it's interesting to see how they're keeping up with changes. So the first place that you want to, you have to give me 1 second. I'm going to ask my son to move for, so give me 1 second. That's a hiccup.
We do hear him.
1 second.
Sorry, Fatim, it wasn't your kids, it was Aline's.
No, it's my kids too. I just told Isla I wanted to say 2 words to you, so she had to be quiet.
All right, thank you. Let's move through the presentation. I'm going to use Mars to show you how to optimize your presence online. So the first area we're going to look at is search. So that, so that prospects can find you. And yesterday we went over Google. So we did dive into there. I don't need to cover that in too much depth, but it is still interesting to go to Google and to see, what does M&M look like? And the reason why it's interesting is because you should Google yourself at least once a week to see what you look like. And it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because you want to see what your customer sees, but it's tricky because you're not going to see exactly what they're seeing, because you're going to see the view of your browser with your location, but it's going to give you some indication. So it could be that the ranking would be a little different. And that's why I would recommend that you use Chrome, Safari, and Explorer. Actually not Explorer, but Chrome or Safari on mobile, as well as on the desktop, to go to Google and to search for your store and see, what people see. Even though it may not be an accurate picture of exactly what they're seeing. So let's look at M&M. So the first thing that we're seeing is an ad, right? The second thing we're seeing is their actual website. And what helps them get to the first place and not, Amazon, which is a huge site, is SEO, search engine optimization. And we're going to cover that in a separate session. But that's the second one that is showing, and then it's showing locations where you can find M&M. We have the right side panel, which we discussed yesterday, which is the Google presence, right? And then when you scroll down, you see Wikipedia. So Wikipedia always gets the second location in importance. So for every business, be it a company, organization, or a person, the domain that has the name of the business will be first, right? So, I don't know, Sandy Lou Seattle will be first, and then Sandy, if we had a value in Wikipedia about you, it will be second, and third would be the social media channels, so Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and the location of them would vary depending on how active they are. And active meaning how many times you're posting and how much engagement you're getting from people. So this is the ranking: the formal website, Wikipedia, social media channels. Okay, so this is what M&M looks like. So not surprisingly, there are links to Amazon right after social, and that's why Amazon is important, though it's a tricky point for retailers, and we're going to talk about it. The next one that you want to be present in with the search engine world is Bing. Bing is the Microsoft search engine, and basically it gives you the same layout as we saw on Google. So shopping are here, ads, Google, Bing shopping ads are at the top. You can see the ads right here on the right side corner. So you got the product first, then you have the official site, and then you have Wikipedia again. Then you have Amazon, Walmart, and Target, and that's because Bing has its own algorithm, and I would not get into that because it's not important. What is important, and that's a little contrary to what I told you yesterday, but just try to follow me on this. So 90% go, 60 to 90%, depending on who you're asking, are using Google. The rest are using Bing, Yahoo, and a very cool browser that is called DuckDuckGo, which has a great privacy settings. And I have seen customers looking for products that you're selling coming from that browser and coming from Yahoo. So even though they don't have a lot of people on them, it's actually an interesting playground to test because A, it's probably not going to be that expensive because it's not that popular. And still, it looks like people are searching for the same things there as well. So what I did here in the presentation is to link to the Bing advertising service and to the DuckDuckGo advertising service, and you can start researching it. And just a side note again, like I said yesterday, you have the luxury right now to digest everything, rest a little bit, organize everything into a plan, and then execute. So don't go running executing things right now before you put all of the DuckDuckGos in a row. So learn those platforms, see what your plan is, and then execute. All right, so we've covered Google, we've covered Bing, and we've covered DuckDuckGo. I want to mention Yahoo as well. It's the least sexy platform out there, but it's still there. So it's very hard and tricky to advertise there. You can see ads related to M&M, but it's not really clear. So I would stay away from Yahoo. But it's a nice place to check what when you're typing your store name, if you're coming up, because there is a chance that people are looking for you. So it's a good place to make sure that you're visible. Are there any questions so far about search and where you need to make the boxes that you need to check to make sure that your store is findable, for using jargon? Oops, these are my kids. All right. Oh, Sandy? Yes.
Let me unmute myself.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I didn't understand what you meant when you were talking about Wikipedia. You listed 3 things: domain name, value, and social media. What do you mean by value? Is there value that is
the value
on?
Yeah, the value for Google. So when you're searching for Sandy Lou Seattle, how does Google know what to show first? So they're saying, I'm going to show the site that the name is Sandy Lou Seattle first, because that's probably the most accurate result. That's the first result I'm going to show. The next one, what should it be? I mean, if there's so many pages out there that have the word Sandy Lou on them, there's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, what do I show next? So just as an example, if you did have a Wikipedia, I'm saying that would show next. Most of you don't have a Wikipedia. You should not have a Wikipedia. I'm just giving that as a reference. It may confuse you, but it's just a reference to say this is the ranking. Next, after that, Google says, what are the next websites that I need to show a user to be most relevant to display them results for Sandy Lou, or for Wow, or for Roni Rabl, all right? So Google says, all right, social media channels are the most current one. They're displaying the most current information. So I'm going to show them next. after I show the sandylou.com website, I'm going to show the social media sites.
So you're really referencing Wikipedia in reference to Google.
Right. I am
Okay.
giving you
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm giving the Google algorithm. I can't do that, but I'm just
Right.
saying the overall logic of Google to display results to users is the formal website, Wikipedia, social media, and then large-scale websites such as eBay, Amazon, Walmart, Target, and so on and so forth.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry that I didn't make it clear. So the next set of what the next realm of digital marketing that you need to make sure that you're present in is social media. That's the next one, right? We know that. And that's the reason why you're there is because you want to engage with your audience daily. As we've covered in the Facebook session, your customers are there 2 to 3 hours a day. Anyway, they're there. So why not go and find them where they are and engage with them where they are? So I was trying to list down the main social media channels that you need to include in your basket. And it's not all of this list, but it's a lot of this list. And when you think about those channels, think about Facebook as your local cafe. So Facebook used to be a local cafe way back in 2007. Now it's a massive website. But when you're creating your page and your group, you need to think about it as where you're coming to socialize and to chit chat with your customers. You know, before you're opening the store in the morning and you're picking up your coffee from the coffee place next door, and you meet the customer that bought the top and you meet the customer that bought the pant, it's the same. That's the way you need to think about Facebook, as your local cafe in terms of the social media engagement. Instagram is your visual marketing, and it's the way you need to look to the world. So you need to be polished and you need to look good. And the visual aspect is much more important than the word in there. Where Facebook actually gives you more prominence to what you're saying, on Instagram, it's a lot visual. Pinterest. So Pinterest is a very interesting one. Pinterest is basically, for those of you that don't know Pinterest allows you to create boards and to assemble, and I'll take you through those, to assemble boards under one topic, and it's extremely popular within female population of 35 to, I would say, 45, 50 maybe. That's the age range, and it's create a board for my toddler room. And then they say, okay, I'm going to take the design of this and the design of that, and I'll show you how they do it. But why is it so good? Because it's a great source for fashion inspiration. There's a ton of fashion there. And the good thing about it is that, it gives a lot of traffic to your site. And I've personally seen Pinterest being one of the strongest drivers to any kind of visual-based business, not just fashion. And you can shop there. So that's awesome. YouTube has grown to be a huge monster of content, and if you feel that you can consistently create engaging video content, and I will share with you later on a session about videos and how with a budget of $100 you can create great videos. Then you should consider that, because it's a great platform. People love watching those videos, especially now. And there are several channels there that are dedicated for the over 40, over 50 that are extremely successful. 50 hot and flashy, over 50. When we talk about YouTube, we'll deep dive there. Twitter is a text-based. It's text-based. So that's actually the one that if you tell me that you didn't do it, that will be, it's okay. I don't think that a fashion based business needs to do Twitter. It's text and it's very hard to see the visual. It goes into the Twitter world. It kind of like disappears very quickly. The engagement there is lacking significantly. So I would not put any effort. I'm just covering it so that we cover it. And LinkedIn is an interesting one. I mean, LinkedIn is your resume and what you look to the world. It's important for B2B, business to business. I don't think it's crucial for stores to be there. I don't know if that's where customers are looking to engage with you. That's like that's their office. And if you're coming to their office and saying, let's talk about fashion, it's like not the right environment, not a location appropriate. So I would park LinkedIn as well, even though I think it's good that you have a profile as who you are so that you can network with other people just generally, but not for store selling purposes. Sandy?
Yes,
Did you raise your hand? Oh, no, it's from
I know I didn't.
Okay, cool. And I have to address TikTok because TikTok,
Yes.
that's the millennial platform. Everybody's talking about it. It's huge entertainment, especially these days with doctors doing special dances. TikTok is like Instagram, and it's 50, between 5 and 10 seconds videos, extremely short videos that are replacing. So think about Instagram, but that only has videos, hardly has text. It's only quirky videos of dances and challenges and stickers. I am mentioning that because it's also for me, it's a serious opportunity to see how it can be used, because even though over 50 are not using TikTok right now, and fashion labels are not using TikTok right now, a lot of people are looking at it right now because it's spotlighting people that are at the forefront. So it could be interesting to explore it in different ways. So I would not invest heavily on it, but I would flirt with it. So when you look at that, there's one more thing that I wanted to remind everyone. Social media is also very important because you can have your Facebook shop and your Instagram shop and your Pinterest shop. It means that you're creating your products once on your website and you're exploding it to these 3 places, and people can buy. They can buy on Instagram. So I will show you in a second how you can buy. So I think with Facebook we covered the store, but I wanted to show you M&M. So M&M, they have like 1 million followers. I'm not going to go through this in too much detail because we already, I think we had plenty of the Facebook potion this week. So Facebook, we know that we need to be there, and why. M&M on Instagram, 1 million followers. So
Wow.
yeah, with that, and we're gonna do an Instagram 101 in 10 days, I think, and then I'll take you through it. But just very quickly, the circle here, the pink circle around the logo means that they have a story. So if you click on it, there's a story. So that's one way to engage. Thank you, which is deeply appreciated in these days. They have a collection of stories at the top of the page, and they have the posts. On the web version of Instagram, you cannot shop and you can't see the store. So let me show it to you on the phone so that you can see what it looks like and the power of it. I'm going to go to Kate Spade. And Kate Spade is an account that you should follow to see what she's doing on the social front, because bless her, Yeah, so her team, the brand. So if you see the small bag here, that's the store. I'm going to click on that and you can see the products. Oops. Yeah. Right? The products. And the cool thing is that you can link the post to products. So you see the small bag here? It says view more view, and I'm going to click on that. And this photo is this.
I'm still seeing M&Ms.
Oh, you're not seeing, oh, I'm sorry. So let me stop.
No, we see you, Aline. Aline is showing us her cell phone.
So those of you, you can look at the screen, if you can.
I didn't. Oh, okay.
You can see me now? Yeah?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, so the product is linked and you can actually shop directly from Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and it's, I want to say it's easy to do, but I guess it's easy to do depending on which platform you're using and how technical you are. And we're going to have a roundtable of the different softwares available out there so that you can hear and decide which one you want to use. So I don't know, are there any questions so far? Okay.
Andrea has a question.
Andrea, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. How important is it on Instagram to really look pretty, I guess?
Good question. It's a good question. We ask ourselves the same because we're, you know, sometimes we're swaying between displaying the really great, rich photography that we have to the inside of Roni Rabl and the fun photos that don't always look, you know, like like a photo shoot.
Yeah.
I guess that you need to test with your audience what they're responding to. So that's the first thing that I would say, to have like a 9 block, so 9 images of one thing and another of another, and then see what people are responding to. Or you can pepper it. So we have what we call Community Fridays, so that we know that every 6 images we have one community spotlight.
Okay.
So when you organize everything, you can make it look nicer. Andrea, when you're scheduling your images, do you use a tool that allows you to see the preview of how everything looks?
No, because I typically don't schedule them, which would be much more helpful than how I do it.
Right. So I'm just going to quickly share my slide to say that next week we're going to talk about scheduling tool, because you know I just gave you like a huge list, and your mind is probably like, how am I exactly going to maintain all of these social media channels? And it's also relevant for your question as well. So next week there's a tool that is called, I'm just going to say it now, and Andrea, you can check it, and we'll go through it next week. It's called later.com, and it's a scheduling mechanism that is designed for Instagram, but also helps you with other tools. And the power in it is that you can schedule, and you can have a preview of how everything looks. And that way you can actually make professional photography as well as the inside view look good together. And I would really strongly encourage everyone to take photos of yourself and your customers and the inside life of the business, because that's what's making a difference. And that's why people connect with you specifically and not with someone else. So that's strongly encouraged. I mean, Andrea, your account is phenomenal. The way that you and your mom are doing the modeling, it's great. It doesn't have to be a photographer level.
Okay.
You know, it has to be good enough and look good. You know, look high quality enough for the platform.
Aline, there's a general question. Hi, Aline, does that relate to Shopify?
Does what relate to Shopify?
what we are discussing now?
Yes, absolutely. Because Shopify, you create the products once, and you, with a one click, create the Instagram store, Facebook store, and Pinterest store. You don't need to program anything. You can just click on a button and it's there. So yes, it's on Shopify. If that's,
Yeah,
if I understood the question right.
So I think you answered. She's saying I meant the items you can buy from Instagram. I think you just
right.
answered.
Yes, these are the items. Yes, it's the items that you can buy from Instagram. But just to be fair, for other systems, WordPress has WooCommerce, and you can buy those items as well. It's just that you needed someone to help you connect it together. And that's true for other platforms as well. Mark from Antwerp is actually doing this live right now, so he can't answer, but Mark is doing the later in the scheduling, and he's the creative person, so I think he would have really good tips on how to put formal photography as well as just, you know, funky, fun stuff together. So, but that will be at the end of the presentation. Okay, so the next one is Pinterest. And this is Pinterest. Some of you have accounts on Pinterest, and I know it's an extremely difficult platform to kind of like manage it. It's not extremely difficult, but it's one more thing to do. And later solves it for you so that you can schedule it for Instagram. It shows on Pinterest and Facebook as well. And it's a great driver of traffic. I mean, constantly I'm seeing anyone that is looking for visual products really likes it. So just to give you like a feel, this is M&M's account, and they have different boards that relate to M&M's and to chocolate. So it's anything from products to recipes to cool stuff to so you have Easter ideas, and you have recipes and holiday photos. And you just click into the board, and then, so say, you know, for me, okay, I'm a mom of 2 kids. I have a son that is 8 and a daughter that is 9, and I'm looking to do, I was looking to do Easter activities with them. So I go into Pinterest, I pin things that I like into my account so that I remember what to do with them for Easter. But I'm gonna do a Pinterest 101 in, I think, 2 weeks. But that's the general idea. You see, it's like a scrapbook. You just collect stuff that you like into your account. And of course, fashion has a very, very, very strong place there. Any questions on Pinterest? And you can buy. I want to show you the option that you can actually buy. So that's the whole thing. It's not just visual. It's, oh, I really like this. Oh, okay, specifically this one's a video. But this one, you can actually click on this, and it goes to where I can buy this basket. So I really like this basket, and I can, you know, I'm clicking on this, and it's going to take me to the website that sells it, which is Walmart. Ching ching. All right. The next one is YouTube, and this is M&M on YouTube. So you can see that they've put a lot of effort into keeping the color working, and with a cover, an impressive cover, and they have a ton of videos. And again, YouTube, I think it's really worth considering YouTube. Just because it has such huge volumes of traffic, and people are there watching content all the time. And we'll deep dive into that later on. I'm gonna quickly continue just to make sure that we cover everything today. All right. So this is where you need to be on social. The next platform you want to be in is review websites. And you want to be there because you want to build trust. And when I talk about review, I'm talking about, again, Google Business, Facebook reviews, Yelp, and plenty of local directories that each of you knows of. And it's pretty, practically impossible to list all here, but you should do your homework and check local directories and of where they list local businesses and make sure that you're there. So Google Business, we covered it yesterday. So if you need any refresher there, then by all means just go to the recording. It's on the Roni Rabl community, and you can watch it there. Facebook reviews. So on Facebook, I think we've covered it together, and if not, you can check the Zoom on Facebook. It has the reviews area, and you can check it there. Yelp, everybody knows Yelp, and Yelp is a tricky place as well. It gets relatively high ranking on Google, so I would invest with creating a nice storefront for your store there, updated with the items that you're offering, providing background on who you are, giving all of your phone number, address, everything, and ask people to review. I've seen pretty high traffic coming from Yelp. It doesn't necessarily convert, and that's why I would not recommend putting dollars in advertising there. Unless you want to test it. You need to put a lot of money to try something, and I think it's a nice place that you can just have a free page, and that's enough. So I would not put any money there, even though you can, and they will try to convince you to do that. And there's Google Maps. So I wanted to show you, hang on. I'm gonna do this. Right, so I'm just going to show you. So I'm from Hoboken, not from, but I lived there for around 12 years, and I love this place, and I have a boutique that I really like, and I wanted to show you what they look like on Google, just because of the reviews and because of Yelp and Google Business. So that's Pepper Parlor. That's the boutique name, and you can see that the first, the formal site is showing at the top. Yelp is showing next, and then there's a review from a local blog, and then here, this map, that's called Google Maps. And Google Maps is really important for you to have your business in, and you don't need to, if you're doing your Google My Business, you're automatically in the Google Maps. It's another reason why you want to do it, because whenever someone's going to come to for a vacation in your area, or want to have like a day in your area, or is looking for things to do in your area, your business is going to be highlighted here. And there's so many people that are planning trips and day activities using Google Maps that it's crazy. So that's just one more, it's one more place to mention that you should be there. I would also recommend that you use this time to get all of these reviews. And I mentioned it in the first call. My real estate agent, he emailed me. He said, I have zero business right now, so I'm trying to optimize my visibility, and I would really appreciate if you could leave a review on Zillow, Google, and Facebook. And he was not afraid to ask me to do reviews in 3 places, and I felt, I was very appreciative of him, so I did it very happily. So I don't know how many people you have in your list, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 550, but it's enough that 5% or 10% will reply for you to get higher ranking. Okay, all right. The next ones coming up are the shopping sites. Other sites where you should plug into. This is not the full list, and I was actually hoping to get a nice discussion from you here because there are many opinions and experiences on the 4 that are mentioned here. And my question to you is, are they interesting for you? And would you like us to bring experts to explain how to optimize visibility there. And I mean, just very generally, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Shoptix have all very low price point products. The majority are low price point. However, it's good to be there just in case. So just throwing it out there for you to ask if any of these are of special interest to you from what you've heard and what you've experienced.
Is anybody using any of them? And which ones?
You mean to buy or to sell? To sell our goods?
Right, to sell.
To sell.
A question, Kat is saying from Scarborough Ferry, she's saying, I'm using Shoptix, and Gloria saying, would like to hear about Shoptix. Okay, it's so funny. And Kat says, I don't love it. Most of the product is very young and very inexpensive. That about Shoptix. And then she's saying, Andrea is saying eBay, which I've had an incredibly bad customer service experience this month.
Mm.
So Andrea, can you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about eBay? Maybe we should bring someone to talk about eBay. Go ahead.
eBay, I used to push all of my product to it as well. eBay takes a large chunk of money, so your profit goes down. I'm trying to use it to liquidate some items, but I had a very horrible experience this month with a person who abused returns, and the customer service was horrendous from eBay.
Oh, I heard it that too in the past, so that's good to know.
I mean, I had a good experience in the past, but after this, I'm seriously considering if they can't help me, stopping.
Yeah. There's another message from Kat. She is saying, I have the same experience with the Shoptix and their return policy. It's long. Yeah, so not great review. All right.
Okay, so if you want to share more information or more experiences, or if you want us to bring specific people to talk about these platforms in depth, then we're happy to. Just let us know. The next thing I'm going to talk about, I was kind of like self-debating if I should include it in this presentation, and I decided that I should. So I hope you're gonna, go with me on this. And that's direct mail. And I know, we're going to, yeah.
Yay!
Blast from the past.
Yeah, a blast from the past. So direct mail, because this is, once you have all your ducks in a row, and you know of a specific zip code that is interesting for you, you can build a really nice flow. You can send a postcard that is inviting people to your refreshed, renewed website. Don't forget to include all social media channels, telephone number, address, everything on that postcard. You offer 10%. You create a pop-up on your website that captures an email address, and you go for it. I mean, the post office has a zip code targeting plan, fairly easy to follow. I'm pretty sure the majority of you are familiar with it. And if not, then I'm going to just link it from here. But in post office allows you to go in and do direct marketing, and you choose a postal code area, and then you're by the budget you're defining that area, and that's just one way for you to go to where people are and pulling them to your website and your social. But don't do it unless you have a flow. Person is coming, you capture their email, you register them. What do you do next? We're going to talk about it not next week, but the week following that, on how do you treat people that are new to your website, and how do you treat people that are customers that are familiar with your website and visited but not shopped, visited and shopped several times? And how do you treat your VIPs, those that are spending a lot of money there, and you want to make sure that they stay?
We have a message.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy. She's saying, Judy's our rep, and she does say that as a sales rep, I send a postcard out every market, and the response is still very strong. Mail still works, and we felt the same. We did hear reports from stores. Even look at the catalog businesses that today they send a catalog first, and then sometimes you go to the website. Sometimes you do need to hold it in your hand and then call or go online, which from what we hear, it does work. But I agree with Aline. I would look at my list and say, who do I want to mail to? And there's another message. Mail always works for me. Thank you. Janwei, hi. Good to know that you're on Zoom. So this is Janwei, our beautiful jewelry designer, joined us today, and he said mail works for him too.
We have a question from Instagram.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Filoni is asking, what are Aline's thoughts on Squarespace shop?
On what?
Squarespace shop.
What?
Squarespace it's extremely beautiful visually, but it's extremely beautiful visually and standing there in the corner, kind of like not doing nothing for you. So I think they're really great websites to present yourself, but they lack at the product integration and SEO, search engine optimization front, where mostly Shopify and WordPress, and Shopify is based off WordPress software. They're extremely strong on search engine optimization and allow you to get to the top of Google very quickly. That's it.
Aline, there's a question from Gloria. Would love to share ideas of how to build your email address list. How do you grow customer contact list? Good question.
Yeah, use Google first. But we can do a separate session for that, because that's it's I think I addressed it 2 sessions ago.
Yeah.
And I talked about friends and family, and I talked about strategies on Facebook and strategies on Google. Hard for me to refer to it right now, so maybe we'll have a separate session on this, or I will write in the community whatever we discussed so far.
Yeah, I put a note on it.